I've been sitting with this article for the past couple of days, and it finally clicked. Let's read and comprehend together. Black Enterprise, April Jobs Report. Black women lost 106,000 extra jobs, most among all workers.
I know I look ugly right now, but I don't even care, bro. I don't care. Yo, tell me why I just went to work today and was there probably an hour. They called me and my lab partner. They said, can you and so-and-so come into the conference room with me? And right then, that moment, I knew we were cooked. Long story short, our positions have been eliminated. The worst part about all of this is I literally started that job because I came from a lab that I got laid off from because the company closed. So I literally have just been here just a little bit over a year, and here I am again, right back in the same freaking position, bro. I can't do this, bro. Like, it took everything in me not to crash out in there on them folks, because I am just so angry. I'm so tired. It's like, if it's not one thing, it's another, bro. And on top of that, I'm in the middle of trying to move too. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I've been working in labs in Little Rock since 2021. There are no labs here for real that are paying more than $20 an hour. It took me for 3 months to find this job after I got laid off from my last job. I've worked in 5 different labs at this point. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to apply. I don't know. This is just all so. This is just too much. This is too much. This is too much. This is too freaking much for me.
I just got let go from my job as part of organizational shifts and return to office. As you guys know, I have been a remote employee for the past 5 years, really since the beginning of the pandemic. And I'm crying not because I'm sad that I got let go. Obviously, the instability of losing an income always sucks. What sucks most about being let go is somebody taking control out of your hands. I always preach internally and here at home that we have got to be the people in the driving seat of our futures, of our careers. And when a company takes that control out of your hands, it sucks, because all of a sudden the plan that you had, the roadmap that you were on board for, is gone. Now you've got to start over. And this is why you've always got to have a plan B, a plan C, and most importantly, an emergency fund. I am incredibly upset and frustrated. There have been several shifts in the company in this last couple of months that I just knew the writing was on the wall, and I knew my time was coming. But the fact that we have an emergency fund, because ultimately that is what matters at the end of the day, is that we have money to pay our mortgage, to pay for our daycare. We have that as a fallback, and I can take time, maybe a week, to just collect my thoughts and put together a strategy for job hunting. Always be prepared for the unexpected, because ultimately companies will always put themselves first. And as much as you want to believe that you're part of the family, you like the people you work with, it's a business transaction. It's a business contract, and you've got to handle it as such. But please know that you are more than your job. You are more than what you do. Have a plan, have an emergency fund. Do not spend more than you need to. Live below your means. We are in strange times. That isn't beside me losing the job, just general messaging. Protect yourselves, treat yourself as a business, and always be looking for better opportunities, because companies would do the same, and they are.
We do ask that you sign. Do you have any questions for us now?
No, I don't.
Section of force. Let us.
Thank you.
All right, Aiden. Well, okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Don't even cry. Everything always happens for a reason. Everything always happens for a reason. Everything literally always happens for a reason.
Why are Black women losing jobs in numbers? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So I came across this video of people talking on how Black women are losing their jobs. And as of August 2025, 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs or left the workforce. And the numbers keep on climbing from, federal job cuts to rollback of DEI initiatives to the rise of also automation. So Black women are being hit the hardest. And it's crazy because 6% of Black women are actually like the ones facing this. And that is 2 times of what white women are actually facing, which is quite sad, and this should not be happening. And the saddest part about this is that I came across a video of a white woman who is like explaining the reason as to why this is happening is because of the rollback on DEI, because they were being hired because of their skin color and not because of their qualifications or what they can offer, which is quite crazy, like how people just choose to be willingly ignorant, because there's something that she could have just gone online and researched and get to understand more about DEI, but she just chose to be ignorant. So I've been coming across these videos and people are actually talking and explaining about it, whereby I want us to watch this video and get to understand like what's happening and what's going on. And this has reminded me of a video that I did about the blackout, the system, and I saw a comment that actually got my attention. There is a Black woman who was angry because the blackouts, the system was encouraging people not to show up at their job places or being slow at their work if you have to show it, because blackout the system was encouraging people to boycott everything on September 17th. And there is a comment that came and said, like, why are they doing this at this time where Black women are actually losing their jobs in masses? And the reason as to why she said this is because the blackout the system was also encouraging people not to show up at their workplace, or if you have to, you'll be slow at your workplace. And I kind of got to, understand her, but now also I think it's just 2 things that are actually happening, that the timing is not all right when it comes to Black women losing jobs, and now the blackout the system encouraging people not to show up at their workplace or be slow at their workplace. When over 300,000 of Black women are losing their jobs, they might not get to understand why this blackout the system is coming out right now when they're actually facing a lot. But I want us to watch these videos together, guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on our today's episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screen. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll come back with more commentary.
I've been sitting with this article for the past couple of days, and it finally clicked. Let's read and comprehend together. Black Enterprise. April jobs report. Black women lost 106,000 extra jobs, most among all workers. I think this sister is comprehending the impact of this. But again, let's take it a step further. Reading and comprehension, one builds on the other, right? 1 month, April 2025. Not only did Black women lose jobs on par with the other demographics in the workforce, an additional 106,000 Black women lost jobs, most among all workers. So not just 106,000 Black women lost jobs, no, over and above all the other demographics. So I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I'm Angela. I experienced a corporate layoff in June of 2023 after a 30-year career in human resources and talent acquisition. I have since moved into the beauty and wellness space as a licensed esthetician and skincare entrepreneur. If you're not a Black woman, you're welcome to stay and listen to the rest of the commentary if you're still here. But if you are in fact a Black woman, I really want to leave you with 2 things. Number 1, this is hard. And it's scary. Please do not underestimate the mental, emotional, and physical toll of a layoff. Being laid off as a Black woman can be a very unique experience. If you know, you know. If it's not you, ask a friend who's been laid off why it is so difficult to recover from. If you, in fact, have been laid off, let people know how you feel, because a closed mouth won't get fed. Number 2, I want you to do what you've always done, but I want you to do a little bit differently this time. Because the beautiful Aaliyah told us to dust yourself off and try again. But this time, I want you to do it for you. I want you to release the expectations that others have of you. I want you to do something for you. And it may just be 1 day a week or 2 days a week, whatever you can handle at this time, and allow it to grow. Do not underestimate what we call pink collar jobs. Beauty is $1 billion industry. There's enough for you to get a slice. Go back to school. Get your cosmetology, aesthetics, barber, nail license. Do something. Go get that certificate in floral design, nutrition, fitness, yoga certification, Pilates certifications. Get up and do something. I'm seeing too many TikToks of us just paralyzed by fear and doubt and uncertainty, when it's truly a lack of security. Jobs are not going to keep us secure any longer. You got to build that security from the inside out. It's never going to be a 100% secure situation. And what you do next may not only save you, but it could save the next sister. Kudos to all y'all out there still holding it down in corporate. I love to see it. And I want you to take very good care of yourselves. Allow us who've made those transitions to take good care of you too. This is very real, and it really hit home. And I'm very grateful for being able to make the pivot that I've made. And I want to encourage you to do the same.
Y'all, my corporate job just fired me. I went in today all nicely dressed like I am, and they sat me down and told me they were letting me go. After 6 years at this company, I am no longer there. And you know what? I'm not even upset. Is that bad? Is that bad not to feel upset about the situation? Like, I've been getting questions from family, and they're like, how do you feel? And my response to them has literally been, I feel free. The reason, before y'all even get, to thinking that it was because of something that I posted on here, it was not. It was because of budget cuts. And not only was I let go, but others were too. So yeah, that. It's still surprising to me. I mean, I immediately asked in my, exit, just want to make sure that this is not about performance. And they clarified, this is not about your performance. This is solely based on, us not getting the grants and these things that we thought we were getting, and us having to cut back. And so I had to write it all down as they were talking, because I had to make sure, what after 6 years? I know God has a plan for me. I've been blessed with almost 18,000 of you on this platform, and I am so thankful. I hope they never take this platform away, because I am so thankful for you all. And just know that it's about to come. Like, when y'all see me, just know. Just know. It's because, baby, that job let her go. I'm going to have more for y'all. I don't have much now. I'm still kind of in shock, but not upset. I feel like God puts you in certain positions in your life. He makes you do stuff that you wouldn't do. Like, I would have never put myself in this position to be even a little bit uncomfortable, but he did that for me. I just know there's something big coming. I know there's something big. So y'all gonna see a lot more of me. So get ready, and please share these videos with a friend. Please send the links to a friend. Tell them to come follow your girl, because we got so much coming. I'm gonna be sharing everything. I'm gonna be sharing corporate stuff. I'm gonna be sharing Ash still show up for y'all as if nothing has changed. So don't get it twisted. We're still here, and we're about to grind this out.
Y'all, I think I'm about to get fired. Because they just put a random meeting on my calendar with HR. Girl, I know what that means. Just get it over with. Like, just text it to me.
Is experiencing a moment of significant change. So this has required us to manage the business more tightly, focusing on billability. So we in the other sectors have been working through efforts to increase staff billability to reach FY26 billability targets. And so we're continuously evaluating the or your location or the expertise or the years of experience, right? And so the decision is not made lightly by the leaders in the health account, but at this time, we're moving forward with your formal severance notification detail. And so now I am going to have Adam discuss the next steps, right? And for
would be on August 18th, which would be 10 business days from today. You are eligible for a severance payment, which is calculated based on your role and your tenure with the organization. And is because of this action, your access will be shut off tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time. So if there are any personal files,
please continue doing what you're doing because
why did I just get fired from my job? Why did I just get fired from my job? Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday the 28th. Why am I getting an email and the title says termination of employment? What the fuck? I wasn't even going to come to TikTok for this. I was not even going to come to social media for this, but I felt like I needed to blow the whistle on these companies. These companies don't give a fuck about you. You are just a body to them. I'm a phlebotomist since 2008. The job that I have now was a mobile phlebotomy job. Y'all, I got hired in April the 9th, and I'm getting terminated on the 28th of June. No disciplinary actions. I did not violate HIPAA in any kind of way. I did not compromise patient care. I did not compromise patient specimens. I did everything that they were supposed to do. Mind you, only had 3 days of training because they forced me. I was working at another job. I was doing mobile phlebotomy for another job. That job was not the best. It was not the best, but I can tolerate it until I got something more permanent. I could tolerate that job, regardless of how I felt about it. I could tolerate it and be professional. I was working out a 2-week notice with that job. And in the midst of me working out my 2-week notice, I ended up getting COVID. So then when the supervisor, how she came at me, like, it was just a very insensitive, like, are you coming back to work? I just felt like that was just a sign that, yeah, I just need to go ahead and move on. Very respectfully, I sent her an email telling her that I was not coming back because I had already got hired at this job. I felt like they used me for coverage. And because I did so good with the limited amount of resources that I had, as a consolation, they was just like, oh, we'll let her just stay for another month, then we'll get her out of here. They knew for 2 weeks that they was gonna fire me. I did everything they asked me to do. I got into a car accident because of it. HR knew about it, did not say anything. I'm gonna try to put a green screen up here. The reason why they fired me, it wasn't because of my performance. It was because of the reduction in available blood draw volumes due to the loss of certain accounts. We didn't lose any accounts. None of the accounts got lost. Not one. Well, they did lose one account, but that was not in my territory. That was in somebody else's. If you felt like y'all are losing accounts or whatever, just move me. We're mobile. Just create another territory for me.
I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. As somebody that was laid off as a DevOps engineer back in February, I have absolutely no desire to be a DevOps engineer ever again in the corporate world. I don't want to do it. I have enjoyed the career that I had and the time that I had and the skills that I've gained and the experiences that I got to experience and the money that I made. It was amazing. But what I will say is that as somebody that's been laid off twice, I'm not going to give corporate a third time to lay me off again. Now, I understand that there's no guarantee, because obviously I have DevOps skills and I could go back into corporate again, but there's no guarantee that I wouldn't be let go. And I think that's why I'm at a stage in my life where I'm kind of having like a last hurrah moment where I want to give my all to building Sensing, because it's an idea that I've had on my heart for a very long time. And one thing that I've hated about working in corporate is that corporate puts you in a box that you have to fit. And I genuinely don't care about meeting the KPIs for these people that have the power to literally make me unemployed like that. I just don't want to give another organization that opportunity, especially when you put me through 4, 5, 6 rounds of interviews just for you to disrespect me like that. No, I'm at a point where I'm going to give my all, honestly, a last hurrah in terms of building Sensing and putting that out there, because that app is something that I really want to see living and existing and helping people, because it's an app I've always wanted for myself to support neurodivergent people. But once I'm done with that, if you see me and I'm not a DevOps engineer and I'm doing something completely different, mind your business. And being that I am one of hundreds of thousands of Black women that have been laid off and have been on the market for months, maybe even over a year, looking for a job, and if you don't believe me, you can just go on LinkedIn and look for yourself. I don't think that I'm in a position where I genuinely care anymore about staying in tech. I'm in a stage where I'm like, you know what? I just want to make my bank so that I can live the life that I want. If it's not in tech, if it's not me doing DevOps engineering, come what may. I don't know if there's anyone else that feels this way, but honestly, I genuinely feel like this founder journey is my last hurrah. And then I'm out.
Unemployment for Black women is above 6%, and if this was happening to any other demographic in the United States of America, we would be talking about it constantly. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Since February of this year, unemployment rates for Black women have increased month over month by at least 0.5 to 1%, which is huge. It is estimated by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics that between February and March, when the bulk of federal layoffs happened in the first round, Black women lost 250,000 plus jobs. That's huge. I think it needs to be explicitly said that it's not an accident that the president's administration has been targeting DEI as well as the federal workforce, because Black women are overrepresented in those job categories and in that workforce. And the targeting of those two sectors was a deliberate choice that was made in order to increase unemployment amongst Black people, and specifically Black women.
I got laid off today, and I was not going to make a video about this. I wasn't sure that I was going to publicly talk about this, but because we are in 2025 and there is this great layoff movement that is happening and people are going through this every single day, I wanted to come on here and say a couple of things. First things first, if you do not feel secure in your job and if you are afraid of being laid off, trust your discernment. Honey, be prepared. Last year, I recognized that my services were no longer needed within this company. So when the layoff word started being passed around in early 2025, I wholeheartedly believed that my job was going to be at the top of the list of being eliminated. And today, I found out that I was not wrong. So I'll say it again. Step one, if you feel even the teensiest bit of insecurity in that job, believe it. Trust your gut and start preparing. How do you prepare? Get that resume together. If you are able to hire yourself a career coach, do that also. Prepare yourself. If it's been a while since you've been in the job force and you've actually had to look for a job like myself, you need somebody to help teach you how to interview. Guess what? Cover letters, they're coming back. They're making a comeback. You got to learn how to write a cover letter. Sis. Okay? You're going to need somebody to help teach you how to do that. You need a resume update. You need to learn how to write a cover letter. You need some career coaching. Okay? Also, looking at recruiting firms. Find what's out there. LinkedIn will not get you where you want to go. Google will not get you where you want to go. Know what industry that you want to work in and start there. And then find a recruiter or a consulting firm that can help you navigate that space. Get specific. Get your notebook out, get your journal out, and be specific in what you're looking for, because you cannot do it on your own. I'm still employed until June 12th, and I'm going to walk you guys through this journey and how I've prepared myself through it, how I prepared my family for it. And do we have everything together? No. However, I will say that mentally being prepared, that is the best place to start. Get your mind prepared. Your body will follow. Everything else will get there. Okay, you don't have to have it all together, but don't be caught off guard. Don't be caught off guard. That's my advice. If you are experiencing or work for one of these big companies and you are looking down the barrel of a layoff in 2025. We're going to talk more about this. I love you guys. Good night.
Yeah, guys, it's quite sad that this is actually happening to Black women in the United States of America. And, since spring 2025, the labor force participation of Black women has dropped by hundreds of thousands, and unemployment for Black women has risen to about 6%, almost double the rate for white workers. And we all know that this isn't just about numbers, because behind every statistic, there is a mother, there is a daughter or a breadwinner whose income supports a family. When this administration is doing what they're doing, they know what they're doing. There's been federal job cuts, and for decades, federal jobs have been a lifeline for Black women, providing stability, benefits, and a pathway to middle class. But the recent government have decided to eliminate tens of thousands of positions, hitting Black women the hardest. And you might sit and ask yourself why. I'm also asking myself the same question. By regarding the history and what Black Americans have been facing in the United States of America, I understand why this is being done to, the Black community. Like in some departments, employment dropped by nearly a third, and the people most impacted were actually Black women in administrative and supportive roles. And that's why you're seeing over 300,000 of them have lost their jobs, which is quite hard. I can imagine if you lost your job and you're just a single mom. It's sad. And this is not only from federal job cuts. I did a video where a Black woman who was working at Burger King and was working 12 hours shift by herself, and someone did a video of her. She went viral, and later after the video went viral, Burger King decided to, just to fire her with an excuse that she got late to work. It's crazy, and it's happening not only at federal level, but also in private sectors, like whatever happened to this woman. Another major factor is the rollback on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. And it's sad that most people thought DEI meant unqualified Black people. It's so sad, because as to this woman that is thinking that Black people are losing their jobs because there was a rollback on DEI, and not even wanting to understand what the system is doing to Black people and why there is a huge number of Black women losing their jobs. And in as much as we want to say that DEI was put there to help Black community, but we all know that they were actually the last people to benefit from this. And number one, the beneficiaries were actually white women, and people thought that these Black women got into spaces because of their skin color, not because of their qualification. Sometimes, like a few months ago, when people were actually losing their jobs, and some white women would lose their jobs and they'll come and create videos and be surprised because they didn't understand that they were actually DEI hires. And now after the rollback on DEI, they lost their jobs. And this shows you that what's affecting Black Americans right now, what's affecting other communities in the United States of America, there'll come a time where your white privilege will not be there to save you anymore, because you have to look at what's affecting the society. And if you're privileged enough, just know that there's going to come a time that whatever is happening will eventually catch up with you, and it will be very late for you. So DEI actually helped Black women and Black people get into places that they were historically excluded. And now many corporations and even government agencies are cutting DEI budgets, shutting down departments as it's been doing, and eliminating programs altogether just because they don't want to see Black people prospering in the United States of America. They don't want to see Black people in these spaces that actually DEI was a little bit helping them to be in those places. And these are things that have been happening in the United States of America, like for centuries, where Black people are always discriminated, where Black women have always been treated badly, and when seen in places that people never thought they would be, they'll just say it's because of DEI. They'll just give an excuse because they don't want to see them there, and it makes them feel uncomfortable when you see a Black woman in that place that in your mind you thought, no, someone of her kind cannot be in such a place, cannot be working in such an office, and it's crazy because I saw a video of this guy that I think was an interview or it was a podcast that he was saying actually, like, I cannot let a Black surgeon work on me. Reason being, they'll think they're there because of DEI. Can you imagine you with your right mind thinking that someone as a surgeon would be hired just because of their skin color, not of their qualification? And also another video that, I don't know, allegedly, there was this guy who was going for a kidney transplant, or it was a heart transplant, and the doctor who was actually working on him, or the surgeon, was a Black guy. And the transplant or the donor of the organ that he was getting was from a Black person. And this guy was like, no, I don't want you to work on me. I want a white surgeon. I want a white doctor. And the guy went back and they denied to give him the organ. And later they were trying to sue the hospital. And I'm like, if you don't like Black people, why would you even want a Black person's organ in your body? It's just quite crazy how people are just willingly ignorant out here, thinking that someone like a surgeon, someone like a pilot, or someone like a teacher, or someone who is working in the tech industry would just be out there, or someone like a lawyer would be out there sitting there or working in that office just because of their skin color, not their qualification, just because you're thinking that DEI actually helped put them out there. It's so crazy, guys. I don't even understand why people just choose to be this ignorant to this point. Doing all this, I got to understand that all these issues tie back to something bigger. So when I was doing this research and trying to get to understand why is this happening, especially with the new administration, you get to understand that this is actually not something new. It's a structural inequality where Black women are often concentrated in lower paying sectors like healthcare, education, and service industries. These are first to face budget cuts and last to recover. So when we ask why Black women are losing jobs in numbers, the truth is it's not about DEI, it's not about the rollback in DEI, and it's not one reason. It's a system of factors stacked against Black women and the Black community in the United States of America. And when you come here and say that racism does not exist, systematic racism is not there, what do you mean? Just look at what's happening to the Black community and you try to get an understanding. And the other day I also did a video on this Black woman was asking people how to deconstruct their racism and how they can help with other communities in the United States of America. They should be challenging the systematic racism, and this should be taking place as soon as now, because whatever is affecting the Black community will sooner or later catch up with you if you just sit there and think that your white privilege will be saving you. Just remember that white privilege doesn't come with survival mechanism, and I'm sure that most of you have got to see that with the new administration, especially this new year. And I've been saying that whatever has been happening with the new administration will actually be used in years to come as American history. Will be taught what happened with this administration and what people actually went through. And economists have just stated that this isn't just Black women's issue, and they have estimated that this drop in labor force participation has already shaved tens of billions of dollars of the US economy. Black women are often the backbone of their families and communities. When they are pushed out of their workforce, the entire economy suffers. And I think, yes, in as much as people are feeling the heat of what's happening, I just think this is just the beginning, and there is more to come, and people will be regretting a lot. Because whatever is happening to the Black women in the workforce right now, it's a warning sign for the entire of the country. And if people don't pay attention, the same forces pushing Black women will soon affect others too. So just know that you have to be very careful. You have to challenge the system. You have to be in support of other communities that are being discriminated just because of their skin color, because you don't know what the next day is gonna be like. Like those of you who lost their jobs and they didn't know that they were DEI hires just because of their skin color, they thought they were qualified enough, more than a person who is more melanated than them or who has more melanin than them, and they would disrespect them, even those who are more qualified than them, just because they're Black. Just know that these issues that they're actually facing will sooner or later catch up with you, and the country will be suffering. It's suffering right now, but this just feels the beginning of what's to come. I don't know what you all think. I'm so sorry for each and every woman who've lost their job, each and every person who've lost their job. I do understand what it feels like losing your job, not knowing even where to start from. And over 300,000, like, it's crazy, guys. But I hope that, things will just work out, things will just work out. That is what I just hope and pray for. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. Make sure to subscribe, share this video with your friends and loved ones. And until the next episode, bye.